Welcome to the Michael Singer podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Jagrative, Jai Masters. If almost every single person took a look inside themselves, which rarely they do because they're very busy outside, trying to do things outside, but if you did look inside, objectively, what you would see is that you're trying to be okay. And if I teach you that, I talk about that, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do that. It doesn't mean you practice renunciation, that I'm not okay, but it's okay that I'm not okay. I won't do what I think will make me be okay. That's renunciation. It doesn't seem very rational to me. But to look deeper inside and see, I am trying to be okay. Like there's two levels, non-negative and positive. I'm trying to be positive, trying to be okay, trying to feel happy, trying to feel love, trying to feel inspiration, trying to feel passion. Good stuff. And I'm trying not to feel pain, rejection, loss, fear, anxiety. How's that? Did I get it? I don't know. Is that not what's going on in there? How often? All the time. All the time. Even when most people turn towards spirituality, whatever that means, it's because I'm trying to be okay. All my problems will go away. I turn to a God. What's that about? He'll solve all my problems. I can give everything to him. That's it. It's just you don't realize how trapped the inner state is. And I could say in trying to be okay, but I want to say in noticing that you're not okay. Because if you're trying to be okay, it means you're not okay. That is the foundation of real spirituality. Yes, you can go out there and do drugs. Yes, you can go out there and have relationships. Yes, you can go out there and make money. Yes, you can go out there and travel. Yes, you can go to have vacation. Yes, you can go to movies. There's so many things you can do in the hopes that they will do what? Make you feel better. Always trying to find things that you can do, make you feel better. And trying to make sure that things are not happening that make you feel worse. And so this constant duality, I call it yin and yang, this constant duality of struggle. It's a struggle. Why? If your starting position is, I am not okay, nobody wants to admit that, but you prove it. If you're out there trying to be okay, you're saying you're not okay. How you like that? If you're trying to make more money, it means you're okay with the money you have. If you're trying to find more food, it means you're okay with the food you have. If you're trying to get facelifts and change your body looks and all kinds of stuff, it means you're not okay with what you look like. I mean, there's nothing to argue with deep, real spiritual teachings. They're not philosophy. They're just, okay, there's a fact. The question is there an alternative? That's the question. Is there an alternative to noticing that you're not okay and trying to be okay? And noticing that you're afraid of not being okay and trying to protect yourself and have boundaries and just define a world in which you won't be bothered and maybe we'll be okay. Nobody asks that. They ask how to do it. They ask what job will give it to me. They ask what finance. How much money do I need in order to retire by 65 and not have financial problems? Okay. How old are you? 14. They start at that age. Don't kid yourself. What is that telling you? That I'm going to spend my entire life trying to be okay, at least the best I can, and not be not okay the best I can. And that's the yin and yang. That's what they call the duality. There's a real duality. I don't even mean about God duality. That's too mental. Let's just talk about duality. I'm not okay. I'm trying to be okay. I'm not okay. I'm trying to not be worse. And there it is. And it's a constant dance. Constant. You wake up in the middle of the night thinking about what you did wrong and what could you do they could have done better. Or why should you have said that or shouldn't have said yes or no? Come on, be honest. Do you ever end a conversation with a friend or enemy, I don't care, and walk away thinking you shouldn't have said something? Or you should have said something? Or it would have been better if you didn't? Or maybe you should go back and say it. I don't know. Well, I bring it back up. I don't want to point it. Yes or no? Of course you do. Why? Because you're not okay. That's what that says. I'm trying to be okay. There's 8.3 billion human beings on the planet Earth. Most of the time, there's some words in some language coming out of their mouths. Are you okay with that? Yeah, unless I said them, or unless you said them near me. No, I'm not okay with them. And you start to wake up and say, it's not about trying to make it be okay. It's about why is it not okay? And what you're going to find out is if you're trying to make it be okay, you have to deal with everybody and everything. The weather should be a certain way when you need it to be, and the people should behave a certain way, and a person should treat you a certain way, and the finances should turn out a certain way. The whole outside world, every moment unfolding in front of you, really has to be a certain way. Otherwise, it's boring. It's no fun. It's scary because things could go wrong. Or I like it. How do I keep it? We're busy, aren't we? Pretty busy? You look at it, and then instead of asking, how do I do it? How do I buy into this not okayness and trying to be okay? It's very hard. So I keep talking like this. Well, what do you mean buy into? How do I ask the question, why am I not okay? Bodies can get sick. We know that. But you could check out the numbers. There's 8.3 billion bodies on the planet Earth right now. I'm telling you that 99.9% of the time they're fine. The breath, every breath coming in and out over the course of a lifetime, not real old, but within reason, the bodies are reasonably healthy. They know how to take care of themselves. They have immune systems. They do all kinds of things, don't they? It's going on. Why are you not okay? If the body can be okay, why can't the heart be okay? You're not doing anything to make the body be okay. It's taking care of itself, isn't it? Within reason. The same thing is true of your mind, and the same thing is true of your heart, but nobody will tell you that. They will tell you, get to work. If you want a relationship, work on it, find somebody, make sure it's the right person, get a checklist, and then judge it every single day to make sure, and write it down, take notes. 80%, 67% here. Well, that's okay. Oh my God, play stats. In other words, I'm trying to figure it out. Figure what out? And you're saying I'm trying to figure out how to be okay. And I'm telling you should be asking, why am I not okay? Why am I not okay? Is it really true that even though your body gets born, a foot big, and grows into this thing, all right, with kidneys oh my God! Not to mention, it starts as a fertilized cell. What does this? What got added? Twinkies and Coke that mommy ate. And it managed to take that by itself, that's fertilized cell, break it down into its component chemical parts, even though it didn't seem so healthy, and make livers and kidneys and pancreases and everything. And then managed to come out, I want to talk about that, drop down to the planet Earth, and then get bigger by eating Twinkies and Cokes or whatever it is you eat. You did not do that. How much of that did you do? You can blow it by smoking, this, that, doing different stuff. You can make it hard for it to be healthy, but it's trying to be healthy, isn't it? Why do people cough when they first smoke? Because the body doesn't want that in there, okay? They try to throw it out. And so you basically wake up and realize the body is a phenomenal thing. It's beyond comprehension. It can't be talked about that a single cell knows how to make the whole rest of the body by itself. While the mother says, I made this. You did not make anything. Make me an eyeball. Here, make me an eyeball. I'm waiting. I'll wait a long time. It is doing it by itself. Your mind, you have a mind, creates thoughts. You have a heart, creates emotions. They are way higher than the physical body. They are subtler. Your body can't go to Mars, your mind can. And literally it can. It can create rocket ships and so on. Your body can't do that, but your mind can. Your heart can become inspired and create music, and your body can't do that. You need the body to manifest it, but it does not create the inspiration and the beauty and the music that the heart can do. And it certainly cannot create the thoughts that the mind can do. So your mind and your heart, man, they are so far beyond the miracle of your body or the miracle of this planet of Earth. They are phenomenal things, but they're not okay. Are they? Why are they not okay? Why do we need therapists? And so eventually you wake up and you ask the right question. And it's not the question people are asking now. The question they're asking now is, I want to be okay. What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? How do I be okay? How do I have fun? How do I be happy? How do I have a meaningful life? When you ask how to have a meaningful life, you know, you just said, I don't have one. You're just not looking at it properly. And this is the spiritual awakening. And call it whatever you want. This is the spiritual awakening. You go, wait a minute. The body is a miracle. Is the mind really? Somebody once wrote me and said, I got that voice you're talking about in your head. I got that. It never shuts up. Why did God put that in there? God did not put that voice inside your head. You did. What does that mean? Can we talk about it? You have this thing called free will. That's where it starts. You have free will. Do you or do you not have the ability to decide some of your actions? I'm not saying everything, but do you have the ability to decide when you're going to eat, whether to blow your nose, how to drive, how to move this muscle or that muscle? Do you or do you not have some control in there? Can you create thoughts? Can you create thoughts anytime you want? Can you see a boat? Can you talk about music? Can you do anything you want in there? Okay? Your emotions. Can you feel love? Can you just, whoa, you have free will. I'll say it this way. Do you have the ability to make things happen inside yourself? There you have free will. That's the power that does that. You have will. You just decide, I want to think this, I don't want to think that. Do you have the ability to suppress thoughts and emotions? Yes or no? Who does? Via what power? Nuclear power? Wind? Solar? Coal? What power, what force in the universe are you using to push, which you do inside, to push away a thought, to push away an emotion? You use willpower. You do things in there, don't you? And you do things out here. Why did this arm move? Because I told it to. It didn't just move by itself. It can, but it didn't. I used will. I've talked about it before. I know that unless you meditate very, very deeply, it's hard to see this for yourself. What is will? What is will? What is willpower? Where does it come from? What's it made of? Why is it there? Who gave it to you? They're reasonable questions. They're not complicated, and you can feel it. Let's get a foundation, since will is very important. You're doing nothing without will. You messed yourself up by suppressing things. Use will. You fell in love because you were scared, but you opened. You did not allow it to happen. You used your will. Use will to stop. Use will to do. You have will in there. What is it? When you want to do a math problem in your mind, I don't care whether you're good at it or not, it doesn't matter. When you want to do a math problem, more than 2 plus 2, 173 times 5, it takes concentration. You have to concentrate. Maybe you write it down, 173, 5, carry, all right? Or maybe your mind can think about it, whatever it is. You are using the power of concentration. If when I give you that problem, you're listening to music and people are talking to you and you're doing that, you ain't going to get it right, are you? You say, wait, I need some time to concentrate. I need some time to focus. What does that mean? Concentrate, focus. It means use will to concentrate. That's what does it. You focus it on a given thing, stays there. Focus what? Concentrate what? I understand when you concentrate orange juice, what you're concentrating. Same word. What are you concentrating when you are concentrating? You're concentrating consciousness. What do you mean? Are you conscious? Are you aware that you're aware that you're aware? Can you space out completely and just be aware of everything and nothing all at once and so on and so forth? Okay, every day. All right? So you have consciousness, but it doesn't always concentrate, does it? Can you, if you really had to, cause it to concentrate? The answer is yes. The nun comes up to you in 3rd grade, bam, slaps you on the knuckles. Pay attention. What does that mean? Pay attention. It means put out the effort to concentrate. You do it every day. You do it all the time. Some people are much better at it than others, but we all have the ability to concentrate our consciousness. When you concentrate your consciousness, is creating the power of will. That is what creates will. The example I always use, I really like it to get it once, is the sun is shining out there in the field. Where? Everywhere. Show me. It's everywhere. I can show you where. It's everywhere. It's just equally everywhere. Okay? Take a magnifying glass. Just a magnifying glass. Hold it somewhere. What happens? The sun that was everywhere concentrates, focuses what? The power of the sun. Does it create power? Can it set things on fire? Can it do things? Yes or no? That is what you're doing when you focus your consciousness. Consciousness is everything. Consciousness is God. Consciousness created the universe. The consciousness is what's underlying everything. When you concentrate it, you are creating the power of will. That's what it is. Concentrated consciousness is focused, and it creates that effect of the magnifying glass on light. You now are focused. One point. As yogis teach you to meditate on a candle. I used to wonder in the 70s, meditate 60s, 70s, right? Why meditate on a candle? What's so special about a candle? Guess what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It is the act of concentrating. Patanjali talks about one-pointed concentration. Dharana, he calls it. You have the ability to, instead of your consciousness focusing on your thoughts, on this, on that, different things, it is focused completely, one-pointedly. Doesn't matter on what. On a candle, on a mantra, Om. It doesn't matter. The point is, you have taken this power of consciousness that is generally scattered around, and you've brought it down to a single point. That creates tremendous power. That creates the power of yoga. Just so we finish the discussion, Patanjali, he didn't say that was meditation. Total one-pointed concentration. No, nothing. You can't hear anything else, nothing. The first step was pratyahara. You transcend your senses. You pulled your consciousness out of the senses, and you focused on something. That's pratyahara. That's dharana. He didn't say it was meditation. We ain't got to meditation yet. Even total one-pointed. You can't hear anything else. Right? He said there's a state called dhyan. What is that? When the one-pointed concentration that was focused on an object, doesn't matter what the object is, one-pointed, when it focuses on consciousness itself. In other words, the sun came down, it's all over, there's this focal point. What if that focal point says, oh, it's very focused, where did I come from? All of a sudden, it's one-pointedly focused on the sun itself, goes back to its source. That he calls meditation. When one-pointed, all of your consciousness, all of your awareness is taken off that one-pointed object and moves back to the source of consciousness itself, merges back into the source of consciousness, that is meditation. It's really beautiful. But notice it's all about will, and it's all about concentrating consciousness. Your whole life is about concentrating consciousness. It's just a question of what you're concentrating on. I was married and we were very happy. Then I met the golf pro, and all of a sudden I keep concentrating. Your whole life goes verstunken up because you concentrate on different things. And what you're taught, make sure you decide what you want to concentrate on. And well, then you're running around after something. There's something not working out. There's something that's you got to do some work. All right. Spirituality is what we just talked about, where you wake up inside and you realize, why am I picking what has to happen outside for me to be okay? Inside. I'm going to repeat that. You don't care what's going on outside. You care what's going on inside. If you're standing with somebody you love so much, you're in that high state of merged love, you don't care what everybody else is doing, do you? You don't care what happened today. It's gone. I'm one point of consciousness on you. All right? That's what this is about. Okay? Well, that could be on anything. Spirituality is when you wake up enough to realize I'm always chasing something, either running away from or chasing something. And somehow it doesn't always work out. Have you noticed? It just doesn't seem to always work out. It can work out a little bit. I can avoid certain things. I can try to grab certain things. I have to keep working on it. I have to worry about it. In other words, I'm not okay. I can be for short periods of time. You can turn a corner and see a sunset that blows your mind. Unbelievable. And next thing you know, you're not there. You've merged. One point of concentration. All right? You're not thinking about your worries. You're not thinking about having to work. You're not thinking about the relationship. Nothing. You're just like, wow. How long does it last? You have fallen in love before. I know you have. Shh, don't look around you, right? That total love that blew you away and you couldn't even see straight. How long did it last? Shh. Doesn't mean you don't have relationships, but some people used to call that puppy love. It's not puppy love, it's love. You just don't get to keep it. All right? We're together for the kids. How you doing? It's working out. Oh, really? Okay, last time you couldn't even talk. You've been around the block. You're not newborns. And you understand what we're talking about. And so you understand that basically consciousness can focus, but you don't have that much control over it. You can get, my favorite word lately is distracted. What does that mean? Your consciousness was focused on something, now it's focused on something else. Did you move it there? No. You got distracted. And if you look at it, that's all that's happening. You're in a certain state, and then you get distracted from it. Then you get distracted. I'm okay, I'm having a good day, and then I think about something that happened a few years ago. Yes or no? All of a sudden my mood changes. Constantly. And what you think the answer is, find a vacation, find a drug, find a thing, find a person, find a movie, find a hobby, find something that when it starts to go south, I can go do that and feel better. I'm always doing something that makes me feel better. Eating is really good. Yes or no? Yes. Do you or do you not sometimes eat because you're not doing so well? And sometimes what you're eating, you shouldn't be eating. Just it covers everything. I don't want to talk about specifics. This is your life. Spirituality dares to say something different. It says that's your life because you're not okay. Why are you not okay? I started telling you, your body's reasonably okay. The world takes care of itself. It spins through outer space. There's 300 billion stars in your galaxy. They seem to do okay. Even with the black holes eating them, that seems to work out okay too. The whole universe seems to take care of itself. Does the planet stay in orbit? There's no strings attached. I don't understand at all. How does that happen? For 4.5 billion years. You don't have much to worry about. You're here for what, 80 or 90? You hear me? How does that happen? Well, there's these forces. Where'd they come from? It's called God, creation, reality. There's stuff going on, isn't there? And it seems to be doing pretty good. I have to ask you. In Germany, there's a thing called the Black Forest. And I know that there's not an ocean near it. And I know it's really big. And it needs to get watered. Who waters the Black Forest? Who waters the rainforest? Who waters the forests? You don't. We don't pay people to. They water themselves. Is that what you're going to tell me? That they require lots of water? And it just happens by itself? Just like your little fertilized cell made a body by itself? Just like your breath goes in and out by itself every single time you do a minute for your entire life? You don't have to do a single thing generally. Your heart beats. All of it, I can't even talk about it. Like I said, I don't do seminars because you guys would not want to go. Because I would just keep talking about this. Because it just blows me away. Everything's happening by itself, isn't it? And you know what you would say? Well, not everything my boyfriend did. Why are you doing this tiny little thing when everything is going on? And you eventually wake up and realize, I'm not okay. Because I am being distracted by thought patterns that make me not okay. What if my thought patterns were distracted by what I just said? Isn't it amazing? How does the Black Forest get watered? Well, there's this thing out there called the sun, which is a star, right? 93 million miles away. It's pretty far away, right? And I always tell you, 1.3 billion Earths fit inside the sun. 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. What's your problem? You're sitting on a planet in the middle of nowheres, and the sun's a certain distance away, and there's these things called oceans that's full of salt water. Please don't water trees with salt water. And they're sitting there minding their own business, and because this thing takes care of itself, it evaporates water from the ocean, and somehow it becomes a cloud because of mist and vapor, and then the wind blows it, and then it waters the forest. Every single thing is going on by itself. It's phenomenal. But you don't think about that. You're not even distracted by it. You're not even interested. People say, Mickey, keep talking about it. It's boring. No, it's not. It's very important that we talk about this. Why? It's called reality. What's the alternative? Talk about yourself. But you're just tiny. It's this little nothing sitting on a planet in the middle of nowhere for a few years. Let's talk about you. No. You got distracted by you. Your consciousness got distracted by you, yes or no? Isn't that what it's distracted by? What I like, what I don't like, what I want, what I don't want, what happened to me that I didn't want to happen. You're even distracted by things that are already finished. So what has happened is your consciousness, which happens to be very, very great, and is capable of contemplating great things. In fact, it's capable of being everything, but we'll talk about that right now, is distracted by this tiny little mind that only thinks about itself. And it does, doesn't it? There's everything else to think about. Why are you distracted by you? And the fact that you're distracted by you means you suffer. Why? Because what is you thinking about? What do I want? What do I not want? Who do I like? Who do I not like? What does somebody say that I don't like? What does somebody think about me? What do I look like? Okay? All this self-consciousness and fear and insecurity and need, that's what you're focused on. Of this tiny little object, one of 8.3 billion of you guys running around on a planet that will only be here for 80, 90 years. It's been here for 4.5 billion. Will you allow me to expand your mind? Isn't it silly to do that? So if you want to find out why you're not okay, I just told you. You're not okay because you're focusing on something in the universe that's not okay, called your psyche. It has needs. It has fears. It has anxieties. It has loves. It has, oh my God, it has so many things, and they're very personal. You could love somebody today, have them say one thing to you in their sleep, and never talk to them again for the rest of their life. I'm not even exaggerating. That is a mess. The personal mind is a flaming mess. And that's what your consciousness is concentrating on. So now I'm tired altogether. Do you have the ability to focus? Do you have the ability to focus? All right, what is ADHD? Do you have ADHD? You better say yes. Every single one of you. You understand that? The difference is this. You're so-called focused on something. Do you get distracted? How often? Constantly. Well, why is that not ADHD? We've just defined a certain amount of distractions, okay. And depending on what you're distracted by. If you're distracted by thoughts of hurting people, nah, we don't want you running around. You're distracted by thoughts by this or that. It's like we're measuring what's okay to be distracted by. Spirituality system says, will you please wake up and realize you are in there and you're getting distracted by all these things, and therefore your whole life is a mess. It's all over the place. What's the alternative? The alternative is to do what I'm trying to teach you gently. Pay attention to what is distracting you. And what you're going to find out, what's distracting you is this thing called your ego. What do you mean? My likes, my dislikes, my wants, my fears, my anxieties, what I think of myself, what I think other people think of me. Ego. A set of thoughts created in your mind that are there all the time, distracting you. I'm so happy we're going to go someplace. Oh, George is going to come too. No, I don't want to go. What is that? Where's it coming from? How can you live your life so neurotically with all that stuff going on? And you'll find out, and I'll do it very quickly, ego is very easy. Ego is very, not to get rid of, but ego is very, very easy to understand and explain. What is ego? I'm in here, check. I can get distracted by my thoughts, check. But I'm not. I'm just in here. experiencing the outside world, experiencing love, creating thoughts. Here I am. I'm just in here. What happens? An event happens outside that's not pleasant when it comes in. What does that mean? It didn't feel good. All right? The heart can feel different things. Mind can think different things. This event came in and it was not acceptable to me in here. So what did you do? I talked about this all the time. Instead of saying, into every life some rain must fall, here it comes, it goes, it's all temporal. It happened 5 minutes ago, it's not here now. Somebody said something, I didn't like it. They're not sitting and saying in my ear all day. It just happened and it went through. But it didn't go through, did it? Why? Because you have will. I'm going to tie it all together. Because you're in there, it distracted your consciousness, because it had some power, or the vibration was strong. And what did you do when it distracted your consciousness? You applied will to keep it there. As unbelievable as that seems, you literally decided, I am not going to let this go. I'm going to keep this inside of me for the rest of my life. I will remember what you did. I remember what you said. I remember the car accident I had. I'll remember that it rained on my birthday when I was in 5th grade and the party got all wet. I hate the rain. I hate the weather. I hate birthdays. Well, this is 30 years later. I don't care. I never have another birthday. I don't have parties anymore. It could rain. You kept that inside of you. Does it naturally stay inside of you? No. Why would it naturally stay inside of you? You drive by trees all the time. You don't keep them inside of you. You drive by the white lines in the road. Yeah, they're double, they're single, they're white, yellow. You see them, you deal with them, but you don't keep them. But there is stuff you keep in there. And you know what stuff you keep? The stuff that bothers you. Not just big stuff, little stuff. You say hello to somebody. Welcome by, hey, George. He doesn't say hello back. That bothers you. Okay, fine. Bothers you. For about a minute. No. Next time you see George, you give him a cold shoulder if you're in high school. You don't talk to him. You don't want to see him. You don't want to talk to him. You avoid him. It's weird. And so you build inside that mind of yours, that brilliant, beautiful mind, you build a collection of things that bothered you in the past. That is called the science of psychology. If you didn't do that, they don't have a job. Your mind is open. Your mind is free to study different things and go different places and create and do all kinds of things. But it's not now. Why? Because you're busy. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I got a new job and so on. Then you see a billboard that reminds you of something your stepfather did when you were 8. And all of a sudden, that's it for the day. That's where every single mood you have comes from. You store it. And guess who said so? Freud. This is psychology. You don't realize it because we're so used to doing it. You stored inside this mind, this beautiful mind of yours that can do anything. You used will, here's our word again, used will, power, to hold it in there. Do you have to keep holding it in there? Does it come back up by itself? In dreams, in this, something reminds you. Somebody's wearing glasses whose rim reminded you of your sisters who died 3 years ago. You're crying. You held it inside of you. You made a collection. Who agrees with me? Psychology. Why? What does it say? Man is the sum of his learned experiences. Doesn't it say that? And you don't even think about it. Oh, yeah, you're right. As answer B, man is the sum of learned experiences. Holy mackerel, you are the consciousness that is being distracted by what you held in there, which are your learned experiences. And now that's your ego. That's your self-concept. That's why you like what you like. Don't you dare think you decided what you like. You did not decide what you like. But it happened, and then she was wearing red, and it was such a beautiful color. It just melted my heart. That's because you saw some movie when you were young, or this happened, or it just didn't make it up. There's experiences that you had with red that were positive, and just the right shade and just the right way, man, you opened. And then the same thing with red not, then you closed. So you are not in control of your life. You're allowing this habit-formed patterns that you stored in there to distract your consciousness and apply your will to either get or avoid, and you run around. You run around after your past. How's that? If you fill out what I want to happen, you didn't make that up. There's things, movies you saw, books you read, people told you something, experiences you had, and the mind just puts them all together because you held on these little pieces, and therefore this turns me on and that turns me off because of what you stored in there from your past. And that's the main thing you will ever learn. You don't even think about it. You do it every day. You store stuff. Like you could be driving behind somebody and you don't like the way they're driving. They don't use their blinker. They're going 10 miles over the speed limit. And you're driving down the road and it gets you upset. I'm telling you, you may never drive down that road again. I'm going to take 23rd instead of 39th anymore. And if you happen to see a car up ahead that looks like that car, it's not, but it looks like it, you turn around. So you've held this stuff inside of you, and most of it is negative, and so now it runs your life. And so eventually you get to the point you understand you have will, and what you've done with the will is make a mess of your mind. And that's what the ego is. There's no such thing as a good ego. I'm sorry, psychology, I'm sorry. No such thing as good personality. You're an open being. You're the greatest thing to walk the face of the earth. You're not some little human. Your consciousness staring at a human. Better, your consciousness distracted by a human's thoughts. Which human? Yours. Don't worry, like I said, there's 8.3 billion of them. It's one of 8.3 billion, and you think your thoughts are so important. And so you are God consciousness distracted by the thoughts that your stored stuff generate and your emotions, body, and the field of vision that you see outside. That's who you are. But you don't think that's who you are. You think you're your ego. I am this. I'm married here. I did this. I'm this kind of person. Oh, I hurt somebody in 5th grade. I've always felt ashamed by that. That's who I am. It's not who you are. It's something you stored inside your silly mind. And now you've been distracted by it. How would you like to be free? That's what spirituality is about. Is to sit there and say, yeah, you can find something that makes you feel better about the fact that you don't feel good. I'll find a job that distracts me from my distractions so much that I can't wait to go to work and get to do it because it really turns me on. Same thing with a relationship, same thing with drugs, same thing with anything else. I'm not okay because I'm distracted by the part of me that I stored inside of me that is definitely not okay. And psychology agrees, and Freud agreed. All that stuff you stored in there, you're not okay. It's a mess. So you're trying to manipulate your life so you don't have to deal with yourself. There is such a state in which you are okay. When? Always, under all circumstances. And okay is not defined by, oh, I feel better. It's defined by what is the highest state you've ever felt in love, in inspiration, in creativity. Live there. That's where the great ones went. That's who you are. So spirituality is not about getting what you want or avoiding what you don't want. There's nothing wrong with that. There's not renunciation. You're not renouncing what you want, making yourself deal with what you don't want. No. What you're doing is saying, I have all this stuff stored in here. While I have it stored in there, it's going to make my thoughts be what they are. That's why I told you, can you create thoughts? Yes. Do you create all your thoughts? Do you willfully sit in there all day and create every thought you have? Not even close. They go on by themselves, don't they? You worry about what this person says. You're not doing that purposely. They say, I'm going to really screw myself up today, boy. They just start talking to you. So, oh my God, I don't want to do that. What if I'm late? I left late. We get to my boss will be mad at me. Oh, I'm not late. Okay. Do you purposely make yourself neurotic? I mean, you're right. At some level you do, but that's not the level I'm talking about. It's not functional will that you're sitting there purposely saying, okay, what do I want to do today? Be neurotic. And so basically there is a state, let's get down to it, then we'll work our way back. There is a state inside of you constantly high, filled with love, filled with joy. There's so much that's overflowing, it's just feeding everybody else around you. That's a saint. That's a great being, not what they did. They don't have to do anything. That's what's going on inside of them. Why? Because their consciousness is not being distracted by the garbage that you stored inside your mind or the garbage you stored inside your heart. Can your heart hurt? Can it be really bad? Can it go on for a long time? Why? Because you stored that stuff in there. You've accumulated over your entire life. You got rejected in this grade, and then that happened, and the girlfriend left you, and the boyfriend did it. You stored every one of those things in your heart. And it can hurt. And then when something goes, okay, I rested on you. I trusted you. I like that one. I trusted you. I trusted. What did you trust that person? I trusted that you would behave in a way that didn't bother me. I trusted that you would be the way I want you to be. Well, how'd you decide you want me to be? I have these past experiences, and you better know about them. How does anybody else know what's going on inside of you? How does anybody else know the sum of your learned experiences? They weren't there with you growing up or anything, formative years or nothing in high school. Nothing. They weren't there, nothing. You've known them for 2 years or 2 weeks. And you honestly believe that I can trust you. But isn't that silly? You don't know them. Do they know you? I told them about me. What are you kidding me? I have a whole life. Every moment that ever happened to you has influenced you, has it not? You tell them all about that? You better sit down and have a long talk. You wouldn't have told them anyway. I guarantee you to leave stuff out. Nobody knows you. You're in there. And what you have in your mind is the sum of your learned experiences. And they have in their mind the sum of their learned experiences. Does that mean you can't have relationships? No, it means you can have great relationships. By sitting there saying, okay, I like you. I hang out with you. There's 8.3 billion people on planet Earth. I picked you. What does that mean? Do your thing. I'll get to know you. Getting to know you. That's what's going to happen. Every single day, you'll get to know them. You get to know more different aspects of them. If they go to work, they're going to come back a different person than when they left. So are you. Depending on what happened to you. Why? Because psychology is right. Your ego, your thought patterns are the sum of your learned experiences. Because that's what you collected. But I don't want you coming back different. We were talking in the morning and you seem to be different. No, I don't like that. Do you? You think it's solid. How can it be solid? What you think is supposed to be what you think. You're supposed to behave the way I would expect you to behave when you come home. You're supposed to be throughout your life and be what I thought you were. Oh my God. Just take that one line from psychology. Man is the sum of his learned experiences. It's true. It's not true. You're the consciousness watching what you collected as the sum of your learned experiences, but you did do that, and that is your ego. That is your self-concept. But you do not know anybody else, do you? You know your children? Have you found out you really know your children real well? You better be laughing. No matter what age they are. I know he's only 2, but I know there's terrible twos. Not my child's not going to have terrible twos. Not that way anyways. You don't, how can you know somebody else? They're very complicated, aren't they? How about you? You complicated? You have many different layers in there? So do they. And so what does it mean to have a relationship? To have a relationship with somebody else instead of yourself. But you can't have those. Why? Because you have needs. Because you need the other person and the whole thing and everything to be the way you need it to be so that it matches all this garbage you store inside yourself. A deep, wise, spiritual relationship does not do that. It says, wow, it's fun. Why don't we do this? You be you, I'll be me, and we'll keep trying to let go of the garbage we stored inside ourselves over the course of our entire life. And I don't have expectations. I don't have expectations that you will be the way I need you to be for me to be okay. Can you imagine such a thing? That's called a real relationship with somebody else. Instead of, here's me, be like that. That's called a relationship with yourself. You expect them to be the way you expect them to be because you're unable to handle anything else. Spirituality is so much deeper. It's everything I'm talking to you about. It's waking up and realizing, whoa, as long as I'm staring at me, it's not going to be okay. Because the world is not going to match me. I already showed you the world's going about its business quite well. And you're not even running any of it. But you want to say, I'm in charge. You are not in charge. You're a player in the game of life. And here it is. And moments come by, don't they? They come by and they pass through you. And if you're wise, you let them pass through you. You sit there and say, hi. Hi, moment. Hi. Go, be here now. Hi. How you doing? And the person's yelling at me. The person's standing right in your face yelling at you. They are not yelling at you. You just happen to be standing in a place on the planet Earth where somebody's yelling. They don't know you. But I said something they didn't like. How do you know what they like and what they don't like? And maybe they would have liked it 5 minutes ago with something else. But you take it personal. They're yelling at me. I don't have to tolerate that. Instead of, hi, bye. The moments come and go. It's a motion picture. You don't have to take it personal. It's not personal. Like you get in a car accident, you're in a rush, you get in a car accident. It's not a major thing, minor thing. And you sit there, you want to tell that person, how could you do this to me? I was in a rush. I got a whole day I have to do. Why did you do that? I told you once, it's not even an accident. In order for two cars to touch each other in an intersection, do you have any idea what has to happen before that moment? The coffee maker, it was made 4 years ago, and the solderer of it had a fight with their wife the night before and was upset and was distracted, wasn't paying attention, and didn't solder the coil really well. So 4 years later, it took 15 seconds longer for the coffee to make than it would have made. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been at the intersection together. And the same thing goes for every single other thing. Did it not take every moment prior to that to unfold exactly the way it did for that to take place? Is that not true of every single thing? Wake up. Use your mind for something expansive, for something in truth. There's an accident. And say, well, are you okay? Oh, let's call the police. Why? Because you're supposed to. And you just go about your business. And it's over. You say, thank you. You take you to those numbers and you do what you need to do. It's not a thing. You don't even tell anybody about it. It's just something that happened. All kinds of things happen. Do things happen? But you have things you want to happen that you don't want to happen. You think should have happened. Well, you're wrong. They just happen. And you stop doing this with your ego. You stop doing this with your mind. It's so small, it's ridiculous. And that's why you're not okay. I started this conversation. You have two ways you live your life. I'm not okay. How do I be okay? Why am I not okay? And I just explained it to you, didn't I? Because you did this with your mind. If you did that with your body, and it was bad enough what we do with our bodies, but it was still reasonable, you guys try to be healthy, eat healthy, whatever it is, right? But the net result is you don't do that with your mind. You don't do anything to make your mind healthy. Most people do not anything. They let it be completely screwed up and then try to figure out how they can be okay even though it's screwed up. Do you need to be like that? The answer is, of course not. You have free will. You just didn't use it. And you did use it. You used it to hold on to that stuff. So you have will, and you have will that can fix this, and you have will that can break this. It's all an act of will. If you're holding on to stuff that happened a year ago, you're holding on to it because it's not happening anymore. That's what I want you to be challenged by. And so you finally wake up and you realize I have a choice. Either I'm not okay, what do I need to do to make me feel okay even though I'm not okay? Or get to work. Why am I not okay? And I told you, and I do it every time. You're not okay because you made yourself not okay. Oh, I didn't make him say that to me. No, but you held on to it. Well, I didn't make him be in the car accident. No, but you didn't handle it. You stored it. You called it negative instead of an event in life. How many events does life have in a given moment? How many events are going on right now on the planet Earth everywhere? 700 billion zillion. And you can't handle the one that's happening to you. Okay, so this is why I yell at you. Excuse me, why I teach you. All right? You are capable of being a liberated, that's what a liberated being is consciousness that's not distracted by this garbage, by the personal garbage. You know who taught you this? Christ. You must die to be reborn. You must die of this verstunkene thing you're staring at in order to be liberated. You die of the person to be born in spirit. The net result is spirituality is a beautiful thing. In the end, what you will find, and then I'll stop, what you will find is if you will let go of this garbage you're staring at, how? Let it go. Live when it comes up, offer it up, do whatever you want, but don't keep it in there. If you go to sleep and have a nightmare and you wake up and you have this dream of prior to the divorce, wake up, take a breath and say, thank you. Why? It's coming up. It needs to come up to go out. Would you rather not have the nightmare and have it stay down or suppressed and like a virus screw everything up inside of you? Or would you rather sit there and say, okay, man, this stuff's got to go. There's a start. I don't have to push it. I have to pull it, but it started coming up. Thank you. You take a totally different attitude of what it means to purify this garbage you stored inside. And as you do that, I assure you, I guarantee you, your life will become easier. Why? Because you're not holding that junk in there, making you do certain things and think certain things, suppress it and be scared. I would like the following. That you wake up in the morning, every single morning, like this. I'm back. I wonder what's going to happen today. Anything can happen. And guess what? I can handle it. It'll be fun. But if it's challenging, I love sports. It'll be challenging. I think I'm challenged to learn an instrument, challenged to play a sport. I'm challenged to play the sport of being okay. That's my sport. I'm okay. I'm okay. What if something happens that you're not okay? I'll work with it. I'll welcome it. Because I don't want there to be anything that I can even think about. How would you like to state that not a thought could cross your mind that you don't think is fine? Because you can handle it. You'll be fine. But if worse can happen, I'll grow from it. I'll become a greater athlete because I got challenged by someone who's better than me. Okay. And that's how you start dealing with life. Just completely open. You still do the best you can. Why not? If you're playing a sport, do the best you can. It's no fun to not. So you go there, make money. Go there, go to a relationship and have a family. Not because you need anything. No needs, no hopes, no dreams, no concepts, no views, no beliefs, no fears, no anxieties. Just freedom. Free consciousness. And you bring that into this world. You just brought a gift down to every single person you will ever meet. It pours off of you. All right? So, again, where do we start? You have a choice. I'm not okay. What do I need to do to be okay? I'm not okay. Why? And how do I let that go? Because your natural state is the highest thing ever walked the face of this earth. You're a beautiful being. Okay. Jagradav.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.